President, Deans, members of the Board of the Faculty of Nursing and Midwifery, past Deans and distinguished guests, I would like to welcome you to the College this evening. I now declare the ceremony for the conferring of Honorary Fellowship open. I now call on Dr. Anya Colgan, Board Member and former Dean of the Faculty of Nursing and Midwifery, RCSI, to come forward and read the citation from Ms. Christina Noble. Sorry.
President, Dean, members of the Board of Faculty, distinguished guests and colleagues, it is my privilege to present to you Ms. Christina Noble, the founder and driving force behind the Christina Noble Children's Foundation. Through sheer determination and perseverance, Ms. Noble has ensured that numerous impoverished children in Vietnam and Mongolia receive an education, medical, and social care. Her foundation has given these children and their families a chance to live their lives with purpose, dignity, and pride. Ms. Noble has dedicated her life to these communities and has shown herself to be the personification of selflessness. Christina grew up in Dublin, where she endured a childhood of pain, neglect, and homelessness. Following the early death of her mother, she was separated from her siblings and was exposed to violence and abuse, as she describes in her two autobiographical books, Bridge Across My Sorrows and Mama Tina. In 1962, she moved to England, where she married, although sadly this brought little happiness to her. In 1971, Christina had a dream that told her to work with the street children in Vietnam. 18 years later, she followed this dream and in 1989 arrived in Ho Chi Minh City, where she was shocked by the appalling poverty and conditions experienced by the children. Christina initially met apathy and suspicion. However, this changed as she gradually built trust with the Vietnamese authorities. Her perseverance reached fruition in 1991, when the Christina Noble Children's Foundation, a non-governmental organization, was officially established. The foundation immediately started providing free medical care, and later that same year, a free school was established for the street children. Further projects stem from Christina's travels through the country, where she learned the true situation of the Vietnamese people. Christina chose to develop programs that not only reflected the basic needs of children, but began to instill self-respect and assist in changing the attitude towards life on the street and the cycle of poverty. Thank you. For example, in 1994, an emergency residential shelter for young boys was built, as Christina recognized the dangers of gangs, drugs, and violence in the city. A further example is a revolving loan program that provided the opportunity for people to generate incomes, thus improving their social circumstances. In 1997, Christina was filled with a desire to help the children in Mongolia. On her visit, she found a fractured economy, which was reflected in the breakdown of family values, and thousands of children roaming the streets seeking food and shelter. Many of the children were living next to the city's centralized heating pipes, beneath manhole covers, in an attempt to stay warm, as the temperatures fall to -30 or 40 degrees. A further foundation was established, providing similar projects to those in Vietnam. Again, Christina developed an understanding of the needs of the families, many of whom she found living below stairwells or in jers, traditional tent structures that were falling apart. This led her to the establishment of the Blue Skies Village for orphaned, homeless, and abandoned children in Ulaanbaatar. By providing traditional Mongolian jers in a protected compound, this project seeks to ensure that the children in its care enjoy a loving and safe environment and are able to receive an education and high-quality health care while retaining a close link with Mongolian traditions and customs. This has rekindled the hopes of numerous children, affording them the possibility to look forward to a more secure future. Since the creation of the Christina Noble Children's Foundation, over 100 life-saving programs have been established between the two countries. These programs have helped thousands of street children by saving and nurturing their lives through access to health care, the provision of education, and an improved home life. The work in the healthcare arena has ensured that thousands of deprived children living on the streets, in impoverished families and in orphanages, have access to an international standard of health care that is free of charge. In the education arena, a number of schools have been built and equipped, which assists in breaking the poverty cycle children find themselves in. An array of facilities and services encompassing the various social needs of poverty-stricken communities has been developed in both countries. For example, with her knowledge that few people want to be in the position of having to accept aid from others, Christina decided that a good initiative was to provide loans for a bicycle or motorized rickshaw to families living in roadside shacks, thereby allowing them to earn a living, a valuable opportunity to rise out of poverty and live with dignity. Christina has received countless awards for her charity work. In 1998, she received a medal from the Red Cross Central Committee of Vietnam for her contribution towards the alleviation of poverty and provision of care for children. She was listed by Time magazine as one of the true heroes of our world in 2003. In 2010, in recognition of her years of work in Vietnam, Ms. Noble became the first woman to receive an Order of Friendship Medal from the Vietnamese government, the highest honor given to foreigners by the country's president and people. Christina's foundation gives people back their human rights and their opportunities. Over the years, Christina Noble has watched the children she helped grow into healthy young adults with determination and courage. The Christina Noble Foundation has assisted in helping to build a future for generations to come and maximizing every child's life potential. This ethos is inspired by the personal story, courage, and compassion of its founder. Ms. Noble adheres to a deeply felt philosophy that children should be allowed to be children, provided with a safe and loving environment, with the right to nutritious food and a proper education that allows them to fulfill their dreams for the future. Ms. Noble's heart burned with the desire to help others, and her life story is one of extraordinary compassion. beginning with nothing and yet giving everything to help the individual children she met. Christina has dedicated her life to helping to lift thousands of Vietnamese and Mongolian children out of poverty, giving them and their families a chance to live a life of purpose and dignity. She is a compassionate humanitarian and living proof that quite literally, if you follow your dreams, there is no end to what you can achieve for others. Finally, Dean, in the presence of the President of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, I have no hesitation in recommending Miss Christina Noble for the highest honour this faculty can bestow. That is, the Honorary Fellowship of the Faculty of Nursing and Midwifery of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland.
I, Christina Noble, do solemnly and sincerely declare that I will observe and be obedient to the statutes, bylaws, and ordinances of the Faculty of Nursing and Midwifery of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland, and I will, to the utmost of my power, endeavour to promote the reputation, honour, and dignity of the said college.
By virtue of my office of Dean and in the presence of the President, I admit you an Honorary Fellow of the Faculty of Nursing and Midwifery of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland.
Thank you.
I now declare the formal proceedings closed.
We're after you, yeah?